Hey guys, it's Gus, and apologies in advance. I'm going to be talking really fast because I'm going to cover so many topics in this video that I don't want it to last a long time. So if I don't cover anything entirely, feel free to comment below. And I'm going to say a few things that some people may not agree with. Totally fine too. Please comment below. So, first topic. The Astro Lockbox is going to be here in 2 weeks, and it has something very few people know about, and that is the Gith Yankee companion. So the Gith Yankee is a lot of the newer players don't know anything about it because it's never been available to them, and a lot of the older players probably don't know anything about it because it's not talked about enough. But this companion is very good. I'm going to show you why. If you're taking a 2-minute fight or a 5-minute fight, this companion probably will outperform many companions, but not all of the companions. But in a very short artifact burst, this companion may arguably be one of the hardest hitters in all the companions we have. Let me show you why. Because its normal hit, this cleave and this wicked strike, they're mediocre. But this spinning strike, holy jeez. And it does it every 20 seconds. Now, the hard part about this companion is it's very hard to time because if you go into combat, sometimes it has 4 seconds until it does it. Sometimes it has 7, sometimes it has 8. But if you get this sucker in the artifact call, wow. And I'm going to do a 5% artifact and a 15% mount power, and I'm going to give it combat advantage so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's the mount. I'm going to stand on the opposite side, give it combat advantage. Oh, you're not going to attack, huh? Well, oh, God. There, that will get her. Well, now it doesn't have the mount power, but watch this spinning attack. Watch this, guys. 10 hits. Look at 130s, 120s, non-crits, deflects for 85s. 10 hits times 130, and that's only with the 5% debuff. If all those 130 crits, it's 1.3 million damage. Imagine a full artifact call with that, with the full mounts and Vistani and Geth, or I'm sorry, Drow and Mezzo. This is insane. So there's that companion. So when it comes out, when the Astro Lockbox comes out, those companions are going to be listed very high at first. Generally speaking, the prices will drop throughout the week as the people who really wanted it buy it up. So if you do want the companion, I would recommend waiting until the closer to the end, and hopefully the prices drop instead of trying to buy it day one immediately if you want this companion. It's on Tuesday. I mean, it is on. Every person with the minimum gear level is going to be doing dragon hunts nonstop, and I can't wait. So there's two ways you can do these dragon hunts. You can public queue for them. I believe you can go into the queue and actually queue up for it. And I have a feeling they're going to pop like almost instantly within seconds. Maybe a couple minutes, but they're going to pop. There's an issue with that though. You have to wait and you never know what you're going to get. There's method two, and this is how I'll be doing it. I'll either be accepting invites in the queue groups or I'll be making queue groups. And when you make a queue group, there's one, and I'm not going to say hosting, Ancient Dragon need a tank healer or 2 DPS. I'm going to say hosting Ancient Dragon times 20 need tank healer DPS or whatever your hunt you're doing, because you're going to want to do them as fast as you can and get it over with, because not only do you want that gear, a lot of people are excited about it. Not only do you want the gear, but there's an event going on where the more you do, it's going to be like the battle pass. Aragon and Northside both did an amazing video on it. There's still info we don't know, but it appears, I'm saying battle pass because it appears to be free, but the bottom row appears to have premium loot, and if we know anything about premium loot, you might cost Zen. So very much looking forward to those hunts. Now when you do those hunts, if you spend 2 minutes prepping before those hunts, you will save tons and tons of time. I.e., what am I talking about? Nobody should be using the Staff of Flowers or an Envenom Journal. Everybody should be on a debuff artifact. They're very well known. They're very common. And there's some cheap ones in the auction house that mythic quality already. And the great thing is if you only use them for the dragon hunts, you never want a debuff artifact again, you can just put it back in the auction house and sell it back. And let's see. Oh, there's a scepter, 750. I can't believe it's even, this should be 1 diamond. The Staff of Flowers is pure garbage. God. So yeah, people bought up these artifacts. There's 2 more of those Hauser's Blast Scepter, but there's the Mithril artifact. Most of us got from doing the Dragonbone campaign for free. There's the Lantern of Revelation, which everybody got. It was their very first artifact they got for free. There's the knives. There's the Heart of the Black Dragon. There's the well, I got on Vanguard's banner. That one's a more rare one. But there's the Token of Chromatic Storm. Uh, there's a lot of debuff artifacts you can use. Plus, we're having the new one coming out in this new mod, which probably most people won't have at first, but that's okay. 5 debuffs. And maybe use tunnel visions, but at least use 2 or 3 mount powers as well, i.e. the Swarm and maybe the T-Rex or the Pegasus or the Eclipse line, or better yet, all 5 players use debuffs. Well, if you're running a typical tank healer 3 DPS, they probably 3 tunnel visions. Because those buffs, if you're buffing the tank and healer, how much are you really buffing on their damage, right? So that's going on, and the queues are going to be popping like crazy. You're going to be getting invites like crazy, and everybody's going to be doing it. And why am I saying that? Because if everybody's doing it, guess what they're not doing? They're probably not going to be doing random queues. If they're not doing random queues, that means it's going to be harder to do this campaign, the Draconic Rage. So you still have 2 more today and then Monday to work on this. And the good thing about this campaign is you don't have to do it daily. If you saved up, like this box had 3 green dots and this green dots, you could do 6 in a row and get a whole bunch of campaign currency. It's going to be really hard to get into random queues, I believe, next week because there's so much going on. This is a huge week for Neverwinter. Anybody who's played this game knows this is a big week. So you might want to get your random queues done now because it may be much harder to get after Tuesday hits. Next week we also have the 2-time guild mark and the 20% off guild mark store event. Now, so I've been asked by many people, what are you doing, Gus? What are you doing? So you're going to get 2 times guild marks, which is great because I have thousands and thousands of these vouchers I got to get rid of from the Siege of Neverwinter event. And I already have somebody I'm going to give it to, all of them, every single one of them. And I can't wait. First thing I wake up on Tuesday, I'm going to be messaging him and saying, invite now. It won't be please, it'll be now, but I'll be joking, of course. And I'm going to get rid of those. What am I going to do with those guild marks? Well, you can buy Explorer charts. Now, here's the part that might be slightly controversial. I think a lot of people think the MC gears are going to go down when the 2-time guild mark, 2-time Explorer chart event comes because MC materials will plummet in price. I think there's a chance the MC gears could go up next week, even after the 2-time event. What? What do you mean by that? I am not a scientist or a economicist. I don't know that word. Economist. So the thing is these materials in the auction house are dirt cheap already. They're like these fireflies. Look at 550 each. These just got listed 600, and then you go to blight bark, right? There's 9 materials, and they're all dirt cheap. I mean, those are 500 each. So, and even the Feywood, the one that's used constantly, right? Feywood. I mean, these are 2.6 million for a stack of 999. This stuff is not selling too. Look how long it's been here for. So what am I saying? If this isn't selling at this current price, And all of a sudden, everybody's farming explore charts next week and flooding the market. How low do you think the prices will go before yours sells? I'll tell you why. Every Mastercrafter I know is sitting on not tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of materials they cannot use right now. They can't use it because every single thing that's expensive has one major roadblock right now, and that's the Displacer Beast Whisker. So everything's high because of the Displacer Beast Whisker, and MC crafters are sitting on all these materials because they can't craft the thing because they don't have whiskers. And they can buy them in the auction house, but guess what? They're not going to. Because if they buy them, the whiskers, at the current price, there's very few people left who are going to buy that stuff from the crafters because it's so high right now. And to them, it's not worth it. That's what they say. It's not worth it. 200 item level, whatever. It's not worth it. I'm not paying 8 million for a weapon, right? So these materials are going to be flooded with explore charts. And if they're flooded with the explore charts, you think the prices are going down on stuff, but they're not. The crafters already have all these materials. They need whiskers. So everybody's going to be farming these explore charts, disappointed because they're not selling. If they sell them, they're selling them at dirt cheap prices. And guess what the whisker farmers are doing next week? I'll tell you what I think they're going to be doing. They're all going to be doing dragon hunts. So if these materials, if there's nobody doing whisker farms, what do you think that would do to the price of whiskers? That's right, go up. And look, I'm going to show you right now. These are, I don't know how they are on the other platforms. This one just got listed. They're 160. Look at there. These are listed at 160, but a crafter doesn't buy one. They don't buy two. They don't buy these two. They buy this page, 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 this page. They buy mass quantities of them. And unless these prices go down, crafters, the only crafters I know who are buying these is if somebody PMs them and says, I will buy the weapons from you. And then they will buy these whiskers and make it. But they're not making them just to list them in the auction house because they're not moving. If they are, they're moving stupidly slow. And they're usually selling them at a loss. So my theory is, Gus's theory, which could totally be wrong, is farming explorer charts may not be as fruitful as you're expecting like it's been in the past. Now this could change. The big holdup in everything, the big roadblock, are the whiskers. If they increase the drop rate of whiskers or lower the quantity of whiskers needed to craft, the prices of MC gears will plummet because the price of these would plummet. And if that's the case, MC gears would be more available to the majority of people because they'd be lower prices and the demand would just go up and everybody would be happy. The farmers would be happy, the buyers would be happy, the crafters would be happy. Everybody's happy except the whisker farmers. They're doing awesome right now. They're making a fortune. I would argue that farming Displacer Beast whiskers is way more profitable than the Dungeon Delvers. Because this Dungeon Delver, if anybody saw my stream yesterday, 32 demo runs in 3 hours and 1 minute. I got jack shit. Oh, well, I got the couple demo gears, but those would have dropped regardless of the Dungeon Delvers. I got a Hawk. That's like 20K. Right? It was total garbage. It was the biggest waste of time. You know how many whiskers I could have gotten done doing that and not wasted any diamonds on rerolls? Anybody could have done that. And whisker farms, if you have a decent group, is so fast. Why am I saying all this? I'm gonna have almost 2 million guild marks on Thursday when this event starts, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread my bet. I'm gonna buy part Acolyte, part Terebinth, and then not just one export chart, but all three of them evenly distributed because I gotta spend the guild marks because you can only have 50K on your one tune, and you can't transfer guild marks to other tunes, and I can't transfer these vouchers to other tunes. So I gotta spend 1.5 million guild marks, plus or minus however many those vouchers are worth. So what I'm doing is I'm buying a mix of everything. I am not going to do the Explorer event this week, though, farming the Explorer charts, because I think there's a lot bigger fish to fry right now with the Dragon Hunts and the Jubilee, which I hadn't even gotten to yet. So If you really need the diamonds, you're always going to be able to sell those explorer chart materials, always. But you might have to sell them for ridiculously low prices to sell them, because a lot of the crafters, they don't need, they're sitting on, they have, I know a crafter with 25,000 Feywood logs right now. He can't use them. They're just sitting there taking up inventory. But he's very patient because he's been doing this a long time. So he knows something will change and they'll go back up in value. So I'm going to buy the stuff and then farm them during the next two-time event, because hopefully there isn't as much stuff going on during the next event. But right now, at the current state of this game, unless the materials, the number of whiskers needed goes down, or the ways to get whiskers goes up, this market isn't budging. And I actually think whiskers will go up during next week, because I think way less whisker farmers are going to be out there. But that could cause the whisker farmers to take a break from farming dragons, because they're like, look how much we get for whiskers now. So we shall see. Good luck with that. I know a lot of people are guild mark farming. Everyone's like, join my guild, help me make a new guild. But man, that's gonna be a lot of grinding for, at this current rate, very little return. Um, New rank 7s and new rank 6s. If you didn't know, you will have a lot of guildies leave during the two-time guild mark event, but they're not leaving. They're leaving for a little bit. Because if your guild doesn't have the Explorer boon, they're going to join a guild who does have the Explorer boon to get double the returns. Thank you to all the guilds with Explorer boons who invite us farmers into your guild temporarily, so we can borrow your boon. And just be patient as people move around a lot during this week. So this Dungeon Delver, some people get lucky. Actually, a lot of people get lucky. It's not me, but that's okay. If you have bad RNG, you got to make your own RNG. And how you do that is, in the auction house, people with the good RNG get stuff and they want to list it because they need diamonds. And the good thing is, when a lot of people list a lot of things, um, they start lowering the prices a lot. And there's a lot of deals in the auction house right now. For example, I bought a whole bunch of Wild Hunt Riders really cheap. I think it's a very safe bet. They could go down, but they could go way up. So I bought a bunch of those, but there's other companions as well. The problem with farming and getting companions is companions rarely drop. And the other problem is a lot of the end game companions that end gamers are using, you can't get from dungeons. They're only like Zen Market items, so it's a big stinker. Um, but bless everybody's RNG. I hope you all do awesome. I never have, so I make my luck in the auction house. You got to gamble though. Um, two two time appears 4 months from now. What is this? That I can't even read my own handwriting. Um, so I mentioned there's a new battle pass. If you didn't know, we don't know if you have to buy part of it to open the bottom rewards or not, but we'll see. So if anybody watched my streams on the gold farm last night, because what I'm doing is I'm not using all my morale. I'm just collecting from the workshop when I invoke. And my bags filled up yesterday and I sold it, and I had over 3,000 gold sitting down. That's a ton of gold. That's just free money. It's a pain in the ass though, and I don't see myself doing it for the next couple of weeks because of there's so much going on right now. But we have the Jubilee coming, and let me go here to Whispering Caverns. Let me talk and walk at the same time. So this is how big the Jubilee used to be. People that hadn't played the game in 6 months will come back for this 1 week. The Jubilee used to be the event in Neverwinter. And when you come into Whispering Caverns, there would be over 200 instances. And most of them will be sitting right here, right where I'm standing. Why? Because the Protector starts at one end of the map and stops here. And everybody in the blue circle, when he stops, he drops, Neverwinter Renown or Protector's box. And those Protector boxes have epic vouchers, they have epic insignias, they have mythic coalescent wards, and they also had coupons, which they didn't have last year. I've asked them multiple times on the forum and on their streams if they're bringing it back or not and making this game great again. And I know there's some people like, you just want the vouchers so you can make money. Well, yeah, everybody wins from vouchers. I'll tell you why. Because most of you have probably come to the Wonders Bazaar and bought any of this. Cubes of Augmentation or Glyphs of Potency. Everybody has bought those, just about. The thing with the coupons is people with diamonds can buy a whole bunch of those cheap. And guess what they sell them for? Cheaper than what people can buy it for in the bazaar. So the players who are buying them from the players are saving diamonds, and the players selling them are making diamonds. Everybody wins. And it's a huge AD sync, which is great for the economy at the same time. This event was just the farm that everybody did, and so I'll show you. I'm already lost. I always get lost at this part. So the protector, he's gonna start, or no, the merchant. I'm sorry, the merchant's gonna be. He's gonna. I'm almost there. And by the way, the guild movement, the mount movement boon is amazing for this event. But he's gonna populate right here, and then he's gonna just keep going down this path, the lighted path that you see right there on the map. He's gonna go down there, and every time an enemy gets his attention, he's gonna stop, and we got to protect him. And then once all the enemies are killed, he'll start moving forward again. But when he starts moving forward, he'll drop a renown or protector's box. And so you can get 6 or 7 times he drops goodies on one route. It's like a minute. Now, what the good groups do is when he forms here, somebody will go down here and attack these guys, right? And they'll kite them, the enemies down here, so that the protector will stop all the time because enemies are there. And the more he stops, the more goodies you're getting per route. Because when you finish the route, you got to waste your time, come back and summon him again. So you just follow him, and every time there's enemy like these guys, he'll stop. He'll get all scared, and then you'll protect him, and he'll give you a reward. And people do this all day, every day, AFK, farming, 24 hours a day, all event because of those coupons. Now, even without the coupons, you can still get thousands of these boxes and get a bunch of cold wards. The problem with the cold wards is it's a very low drop rate. From my experience, it's like 1 in 1,000, right? It's very low drop rate. So if you have the stomach to farm this, you can open those, and you're still going to get good stuff. But most people still need insignia powder, which is great. The the vouchers are great for guilds that are still growing, and the vouchers are great for anybody donating for guild marks. So a lot of people will be in here. So they have the Jubilee that they can do. They have the two-time guild mark event they can do with explorers, or they can farming the best in slot gear uh, that's going to require hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kills, right? And the thing is generally speaking, on big stuff like these dragon hunts, you want to get them done because as the weeks wear off and people get their gears, they'll be doing them less and less, and it will get harder to form a group, and it will get harder to find better players to join your group because once they have it, they're done. They can take a break from farming those dragons. So typically, the people are rushing to get that stuff before it gets burnt out. We saw that clearly in the Avernus hunts. At the beginning, everybody was doing them. The rib cages were 3 coal wards. Everything was cheap. And then when people stopped doing it because they were done and there was less people in there, prices went up because there's less people doing it. So those dragons are probably going to follow the same pattern. Now, it'll probably last a long time because everybody's going to be needing those for a long time. So we'll see. And I'll be doing them for a lot because I'm a collector and I need every one of those items. That's going to take me forever. Sorry to any other collector out there. Your stomach's probably churning thinking about it. If you're going to buy anything from the Zen market, VIP, character slots, battle pass, if you're going to buy anything, I would highly recommend waiting until the I think it's the 14th or 16th. You want to wait until the 16th because typically during every single past anniversary, there's always been an unannounced. They never announce Zen sales prior to the sale. They always say it the day of or the night prior, right? Because I wouldn't either. I would want people to keep buying at the regular price. Uh, so there's historically the historical precedence is there will be a sale, 30% off. Maybe with a new producer, we'll go back to the good old days with 50% off. Either way, wait a couple more days. The worst thing that's going to happen is there is not a sale. You can cuss me out and call me names in the comments below. Or you're like, ooh, good thing I waited 3 more days to buy that. I saved 1,500 Zen or whatever. So I'd recommend not spending a single Zen until the 16th comes. And I know a lot of people are excited about these free rewards. They do this every single year. Every year there's free rewards. The anniversary, they give stuff away. And this one just looks sexy, right? A mythic mount. Well, the mythic mounts are great. Um, if this would have been 3 years ago and they said it was a legendary mount, it would have been the biggest giveaway ever. But the problem with mythic mounts is the drop rates are so much higher in the packs, and the majority of players at endgame are sitting on at least 10 of them, right? It's very watered down. So it looks sexy being mythic, but I mean, it's an okay giveaway. If you don't have any, the first I would recommend for anybody, the first one would be King of Spines. It's amazing. After that, maybe the Hag's Cauldron. Other than that, I don't. You can almost cringe when you see a polar bear going off in an artifact call, right? You see a staff of flowers and you see a polar siege bear. You just know it's going to be a painful run. So that's great. This is more for the newer players and the players building. The 50 unbind tokens is the opposite. This is not very useful to newer players, but this is great for endgame players, right? And then the legendary mount choice pack. So if you get the Mythic King of Spines, don't get the Commander T-Rex. But if you get the Commander T-Rex, don't get the Mythic King of Spines. Because they both have the same mount power and they don't stack. So you want one or the other. I would recommend, what I like about the King of Spines though, wait a second, it doesn't say account. These might be the first Mythic mounts that are not account wide. But you can't go wrong with a debuff mount ever. Ever can you go wrong with the debuff mount. And then the for the legendary mount again, pick your poison. Some if you already have them, just most of their mount powers are kind of doo doo. Like Armored Griffin used to be amazing when we had to do mitigation in trials, but that was the only time people ever used them was in trials during mitigation. We may need that in the future again, but they're fairly cheap in the auction house. I recommend the last one I'd ever recommend getting was the brown siege bear. That one probably has the least usefulness of all of those mounts. But it's up to you. Maybe you like how it looks and you want to ride around on it. Do you? And then so this looks great, but they do this every year. I think this is the first time they ever put on the calendar like that, though. And we covered the Jubilee, the gold. Yeah, sorry this video took so long, everybody, but there's so much to cover. This is a great time. And remember, debuff artifacts are the way to go. If this is your first time being in coordinated groups, if you do debuffs, your quality of life in Neverwinter will skyrocket. It will be almost impossible to fail. That's why bosses are actually really easy in the game most of the time if everybody does the right thing. And step one is the debuff artifacts everybody use at the same time. Uh, there you go. If you got any comments or any other observations you'd like to share, please comment below. Stay classy, Neverwinter. See you soon.